Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. We give double honor to the apostles and elder great millstone. Shalom to all sincere Akim out there, pushing his word and all truth and sincerity. You know, any Akwat that are out there listening. So, another week to preach the downfall of America, going to the scriptures that is constantly being profaned. You know, our people that are constantly being corrupt and going away from their maker. All right. Our people don't consider that Yahweh Shema Shai is their Lord, their power, their Savior. And consider that, they consider Esau and his ways and, his corrupt philosophies and all that, not realizing that the people on the side are special people. Israel does not consider Israel in any of their, Jake does not consider the Most High in really any of their ways. And then the idea of God and Jesus they have is all wrong. It's all basically plantation Christianity. All right, it's all a religion that really worships the damn devil, so-called white man that he set up, and he's been a long oppressing us for so many years that our people love it so. So I got Isaiah the first chapter and the third verse. This is the ox knoweth his owner and his and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. All sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken Yahweh, they revoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger, they are gone away backward. And that's our people, man. Our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, are downtrodden and in a lowest state because of the wickedness that they do and their backsliding on the Most High. All right, and we know that that's because of the curses. That's because of the laws that were implemented to Israel that they were supposed to abide by and adhere to, and they didn't. So that's why our people are basically downtrodden, okay, in a lower state. But they don't consider.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do rule well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in a 1/3. And Lord's will, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And Tawadi Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, forgive me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, this proves it's the spirit under the flesh. All right. And I'm familiar with these brothers out here. This is GMS Plain Tables. It's also GMS Plain Tables, Delaware. I'm very familiar with these brothers. I've seen their channel. They're laboring longer than me. But I happened to come across this the live yesterday. And, I was telling a brother, I said, man, this proves right here that which we already know. Okay, we already know that our people are going to look like not only so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but they're also going to look like the other nations. Okay, but this stood out to me, because I gotta say, as a personal testimony, my Edomite neighbor, okay, looks like the spit and image of this brother right here. But I've had interactions with the Edomite neighbor of mine, and two completely different spirits. Okay, when I tell you, man, okay, I'm telling you, this looks just like him, but the spirit is different. All right, the spirit is different. And I said, man, that's a lesson right there, because we're aware, our elders and apostles, they taught us, they teach us, that not every Israelite is going to look like a so-called Negro or so-called Latino. So we are very big on trying your spirit to where, you have to understand that some of our people are just completely wicked and they're going to reject it. But then you have some of our people that look like the other nations that will cleave to this and they will accept it, even though they don't look like us, nor are they on the chart. Okay. Or you could have a brother or sister look like this and they'll say, no, my dad's so-called black. Okay. Because I'll tell you this, I having a child that's not with a so-called black woman, this is the complexion that my children look like. Okay. Or children. All right. Or child looks like. All right. So this is a stumbling block as well for Jake, because they're real big. And if you're not on the 12 tribes chart, this is not for you. So what if this brother walked by the camp and then they started getting on him and telling him he's going into slavery? And he's like, wait a minute, my dad's a so-called Negro, or my dad's a so-called, you see? So it's all about the spirit that's under the flesh. Now, real quick, I'm not going to make this long. Like I said, I just was skimming through YouTube and I was watching the brother's channel, and I said, man, this looks just like my Edomite neighbor. But the spirit is completely different. So you're going to have Jakes that look like heathens, but in the spirit, you're like, nah, no way. Real quick, this is I'm not going to make this long. Deuteronomy 28:64. This is the curses. It says, and the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, shall scatter thee among all people. Okay. So you have to understand, when the Lord really starts opening up, we could potentially have people that, look Asian. All right. You remember you had, you in the scriptures, you had synagogues and matter of fact, let me go this real quick. Let me show you something. Let's go to Acts 6. Check this out. This is Acts 6. I was going to do a lesson on this as well, but I'll go here. This is Acts 6 right here. Look at this. Acts 6:9. Then there arose certain of this. Matter of fact, let's go to the NLT because I read this in the NLT. Acts 6:9 in the NLT. But one day some men from the synagogue of freed slaves, as it was called, started to debate with him. They were Jews from Cyrene, Alexandria, Sicily, and the province of Asia. Okay, which Asia is a continent, so not meaning like literally the land of Moab, but the point is, you're going to have Israelites that are going to come from the four corners. You're going to have Israelites that are going to look like other nations, but their spirit, it's the spirit like, oh man, I can rock with you. I can vibe with you. Oh, you like that too? See, so we're entering a time of heavy eye-opening moments, because when you see Israelites that look like this in teaching, to a degree, this was the problem back then, because there were Israelites that were scattered abroad, but they weren't in the customs of being an Israelite. Now, I'm not saying every Gentile may have looked like an Edomite or this or that, but you could have potentially had some Gentiles in the midst that may have not looked as dark, is all I'm just saying. I'm speaking as a man, but I'm just saying in 2024, these are the things that you now walking in this truth, you have to understand that. Okay, let me play a little more.
Consider that it's the Lord that's doing that to them. They just feel like it's that bad luck, or they're just down in their luck. But, Israel has really got, a lot of awakening going on right now, and a lot of evils happening to them.
That's right. That's right. And I got to say it again. Listen, this brother right here looks spitting image of my Edomite neighbor. Okay. Evil Edomite neighbor. Don't get along. Don't talk. I'm at peace with everyone. I carry myself. I conduct myself. I mind my business. But over time, it showed that the Edomite in him came out. Okay. And I said, man, this brother looked just like my evil Edomite neighbor. But I'm listening to him speak. I'm listening to him breaking scriptures down. And I said, this is what has been being taught. Okay. Two different spirits. Just because you may look outwardly like a heathen doesn't always necessarily mean inwardly that you are a heathen, and vice versa. You can't always look at every single so-called Negro or Latino, Native American, if you will, as just, face value. Yep, that's a brother. Yep, they got fringes. Yep, come here, king. Come here, family. No, you got Ham. You got Elam. You got a lot of heathens that look just like us. And that's one thing I notice about our people too. They'll be quick to out a man teaching the scriptures based off how he looks, based off nationality, but no one ever adds the aspect of, well, can't there be some Hamites in the midst? Of course there's tares, Esau raping our women, all right, all that going on in slavery. So no one ever takes that really into consideration. But when they see the outward appearance, they'll be very quick to say, who's that? They let a Edomite in their camp. Well, you acting like the same Jakes back then that were denying the Gentiles from entering into their commonwealth. Okay, so let's continue. Deuteronomy 28:64, and I don't care if this offends any of you. All right. Because I've actually experienced that before, going into the aspect of other nations. Like you have, and of course, you can't be simple. It's not just everybody. All right. It's the spirit at the end of the day. But, there's a saying, what do they call? They're called let me just put this in. Let's see. Polish are the Mexicans in Europe. Let's see what comes up real quick. And we're entering a time, man. Okay, we're entering a time where the Lord is going to, look at this. Poles are Mexicans of Europe is a phrase that appears on Facebook. So Polish people have a byword. Why is Poland joked as the Mexico of Europe? See, because they're hard workers. So we're scattered everywhere. Let's go back to the curses. And of course, we're not simple. That doesn't mean that just anyone and everyone we accept and say hello, and shalom. We try your spirit. We even try our own people's spirit, even though we know they're Israelites. But we got to try the spirit to make sure they're not a demon or a false prophet or evil or wicked. So it's a constant revolving door of trying the spirit of who's around us, who's amongst us. Are you an Israelite? Are you a child of Yahweh Shem Shai? Do you cleave to the gospel? Do you understand things of that nature? Okay. But I got to say it. I got to say it again. This brother right here is a spitting image of my evil Edomite neighbor, but completely opposite in the spirit. Okay. Completely opposite, but look the same. That's a title right there. Completely opposite, but look the same. Wow. And we're entering that time where we're going to see more. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. Okay. So we're everywhere. We ruled in Europe. Okay. And Jake, come on now. Us Israelite men, we are not just going to be sitting somewhere twiddling our thumbs. Okay. Well, we're God's in the flesh and die like men. But before we die like men, we're going to have a lot of children to continue our line. All right. And we don't discriminate against the heathen, if you will. And don't use, let me shoot some edification real quick too. And don't be quick to listen to IUIC with this BS breakdown. When you go to Deuteronomy 7, and it's talking about don't let thy sons and daughters deal with them. This is specifically talking about, I believe it's 7 Hamite nations. Okay. This is specifically talking about don't let your sons and daughters deal with them because we are going in there to conquer their land. All right. So let's see. Where is that? Deuteronomy. Is it 7 and 6? Yeah, right here. Okay. Look, Deuteronomy 7 and 1. When the Lord thy power shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them utterly and destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughter thou shalt take unto thy son. This is specifically talking about these 7 Hamite nations as we were on a conquest to conquer these lands to get our promised land of Israel. Okay, so IUIC uses this scripture in context. This is specifically talking about the Hamites at this time during our conquest. And I believe Deuteronomy 21 actually has a law, what we can do with heathen women, even when we go to war. Okay, let me see. Domestic relations. See, when thou goeth forth to war against thy enemies, and Yahweh Shem Shai, thy power, has delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captives, and seest thou a captive, a beautiful woman. See, Moab, Ammon, Edom, Ishmael, Elam. Okay, it's very simple. Stop listening to these false camps, and they're get you this black woman, brother. Well, a black woman is a heathen, man. Okay, you get with a black woman in 2024. All right, I don't even want to get started on that, but it'll probably end up in child support, a restraining order with a Christmas sweater on. Okay, the so-called black woman and brown woman is the biggest heathen woman on the planet right now. Okay, so that whole just being with no. Okay, we're allowed to have the other women as well, but within that, this is why you have this. Okay. This is why you have brothers looking like this, because of the curses. We were scattered amongst them. But what I'm showing you is even in our law, we are allowed to deal with the heathen nations' women. Okay, look, it says, and has desire unto her that thou wouldest have her to be thy wife. There you go. See that? So we have laws how to handle when we do get a woman of another nation. So when you see IUIC or I've seen other camps use Deuteronomy 7 as a excuse to say brother this and brother that. Now, of course, we have our own nation. Of course, our Israelite women are our wives first and foremost. Okay, no one's taken away from that, but that doesn't limit the Israelite man's selection of women when it comes to other nations. All right. So I just wanted to make that quick point. If you got a problem with it, well, you need to fast or something. All right. Because we're getting ready to repopulate the earth with Israelite men and Israelite women. Okay. And we're going to use all sorts of women to do so. And like I said, if you have a problem with that, hey, you take that up with Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay. There's a nation that's getting ready to be rebuilt after 2/3 get destroyed. How are the 2/3 going to come back? So anyways, back to my initial point, Deuteronomy 28:64, and Yahweh Shem Shai shall scatter thee among all people. So when Jake gets among all people, what you think is going to happen? Well, you're gonna see the women of the other nations cleave to Jake, okay? And they don't have the curses like our women have, so they're not going to be as evil. See how I said as, okay? They're not going to be as evil, as wicked, all right? They're not going to be all finished and through and plagued with pounds of demons to where now you're living with a scorpion, all right? But this is how Jake became a Gentile, through the curses, getting scattered. And then this is why you fast forward today, all of us have different shades of color. So we're not all going to look like typical 12 tribes chart. So even though you're not on the 12 tribes chart, that don't mean that you still are not an Israelite either. But I don't know this brother personally. You don't know if this brother's father is a straight up Judite, okay? Like legitimately a Judite. Don't we always use Blake Griffin? Let's do it. Blake Griffin. And there's going to be some demonic women that got a problem with this. Blake Griffin, son. Okay, there you go. This is Blake Griffin's son, which Blake Griffin himself, okay, is a little lighter. So let's do Blake Griffin's son and father, just to show the 3 generations of differences right there. See, this is how Blake Griffin's father looked. Then this is how Blake Griffin looked coming from her. And then after Blake Griffin got with her, this is how this Israelite baby came out looking. And if he walked by a stereotypical t-shirt and fringe Israelite camp, they would say, give me Psalms 147. What we gonna do? Bash them against the stones? Because they're fucking carnal. Excuse my language. Okay, they're effing carnal. The Lord is gonna wipe Jake off the map. All these wicked false prophets and teachers that are pushing our sheep away, Yahweh Shem Shai is going to visit them. And I'm going to praise Yahweh Shem Shai when he takes out these wicked false shepherds, these evil ass nigga Israelites, man. Okay? It's these evil ones. Listen to Elder Apostle Aram Lab's testimony, what he had to deal with first coming in at One West. That's some bullshit. And I always joke around and tell brothers, I say, man, you lucky. They lucky I don't look like an Edomite. I be saying nigga all day. But see, that's my spirit, though. That's my spirit. See, I'm calling out the obvious, all right? Because we're defenders of the gospel. The Lord puts a spirit of a shepherd upon us to shepherd the sheep to Yahweh Shai and protect the sheep, with the doctrine through the Rakah Kodash. You see? The Lord ain't make us no pushovers. We like to talk about the truth that makes Jake uneasy because you ain't fully invested in this truth. You just a halfway Israelite. You just got half your fringes on. We got the fringes on in the spirit too. So I want to use this as a great example. All right. See that? I believe he's Levite too. See that? So he'd come by camp. Come on, brother. You a king? He comes by camp. Yeah. Possibly they would say it. But if he came by camp with just his mother, you white people, you going into slavery. You won't even know. You just told a fellow Israelite because how they look like this, they're going into slavery. They don't got the Rakah Kodash. They don't got the Holy Spirit. Okay, so the Wadi Yahweh Shem Shai for bestowing the Holy Spirit upon us, and we can have the eye salve to see these things and been given the talent and ability to read spirits and say, no, that's a brother, man. That's an Israelite. Okay, that's an Israelite. We had matter of fact, let me see if it comes up. It always pops up when I look up our channel. Let me show you this real quick. Just a quick thumbnail, okay? And I got Rev 7 tucked away, and I got to get that, all right? So let's go right here. Let's go to the search bar. Let me show you this. It's funny because if you just look up our camp channel right here, if you just look up our camp channel, there's a in particular video of a so-called white woman that's it's always showing on the front page. It's funny, actually. My computer's taking a little while to load. I might need to clean it. I'm not too tech savvy with the laptop, so I don't know to I'll figure that out. But let me just see. I just want to see. So that's not it. There it is. Look at, see? Every time I look right here, see her? This is an Israelite. She came up to camp and she said, I don't like white people. I said, we don't either. And you're going to get your color back in the kingdom. Do you know that Yahweh Shai was cleansing Israelites that were clean leopards? I mean, this is clean leprosy. So Yahweh Shai was cleaning Israelites that looked like this skin color, and he gave them back their original pigment. See? This truth is deep and it's beautiful, and it's something that needs to be embraced, because if not, it's going to be a stumbling block to you one way or another. Just like when Apostle Paul went to the Gentiles, they were scattered abroad. Okay. Now, of course, they were of color, but we don't know if some of them could have been a little lighter. We know they were Gentiles in the mind, that we know that they were Gentiles in the flesh, but they were Israelites in the spirit. That's why Romans 2 says that what the Gentiles do, they do according to nature. All right. Romans 2. There's Romans 2:14. For when the Gentiles, and I'm going to keep saying it, I'm not just saying that the Gentiles always look like the other nations. What I'm telling you is that us Israelite foreigners that were amongst the Gentiles, well, they could have, when they were dealing with the women over a process of time, some of them Gentiles could have potentially, I'm saying potentially, look like this, left like this, born like that, came back like this. See? That's why you got to read the spirit. Okay, you got to read the spirit. So Romans 2:14, for when the Gentiles, now Gentiles just means a multitude of people. Okay, like the American. You just say you're American, but wait a minute, I'm not just in America. I'm in America, but I have a nationality. See, so when you look at the word Gentile, you got to look at this as a broad statement. So who amongst the Gentiles? Well, I'll tell you. Let's go to John. I'll tell you right now, who amongst the Gentiles? This is John 7:35, because guess what? The Israelites knew that they had Israelites, brothers and sisters, scattered outside of the promised land. And why? Because Pompey invaded Jerusalem, I think 63 BCE. I have to double check, but basically a lot of our people got exiled, put into slavery. So they got scattered in these heathen lands. And what you think, Jake just going to be sitting there? No. We're not just going to be sitting there. This is John 7:35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go? Whither will Yahweh Shai go, that we shall not find him? Which he was talking about going to the Father after the death and resurrection. It says, will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? Who's the dispersed? I know you know, but there may be some that don't know. So let's click on it. Okay. The dispersed right here. The dispersed, the Israelites dispersed among foreign nations. See that? Israelites dispersed among foreign nations, okay? Also a part of the curses. So when they came back, some of them may not have looked like the typical Israelite as in now, okay? As we come back and are waking up, not every one of us is going to look like the typical Israelite. So for the brothers and sisters out there that may not look like a Judite or Benjamite or Levite, hey, don't let that stop you. If your spirit is cleaving and you bear witness to this truth, hey, the door's open for you. And then also, too, it says, let the wheat and the tare grow together. So if somebody comes up that looks like a pure Edomite, but they seem to be kind of cool, then we're going to listen and talk and build. Ham looking, it don't matter. We had an Ethiopian, Jake, come up to us one time. He said, I'm from Ethiopia. Please tell me, do you like it? We say, you good, brother. You're good. Okay, you're good. You're fine. See? So it's did we finish that? All right, I'm just getting what's given to me. I'm not trying to make this too long, but I just do want to make some points. See? So it says, will he go to the Israelites among the Gentiles? Because we know that word dispersed means Israelites, right? So will he go unto the Israelites among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? See? So even back then, our people knew that we had people scattered abroad. Israelite communities amongst heathen nations, okay? So now we got that. Let's finish the curse. Deuteronomy 28:64. And Yahweh Bashem El Shai shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And this is why our people are going so hard with these heathen customs and religions, because they are caught under these curses and they haven't been woken up yet. But we are entering a time where the Lord is revealing to our people who they are through the teachings and edification and the gospel. All right. This is Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. See? So you'll have brothers or sisters that may not typically look like the so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, but the Spirit is so moved on them heavy that they may come up to a camp. They may comment on a video. Now, they could comment on one of these false shepherds video and get pushed away, but I believe humbly that the true shepherds of Israel that are leading our people to Yahweh Shai, starting with the elders and apostles, a great millstone, and it trickles on down to young brothers like myself. I truly believe that because I learned that edification through them. And so much when I taught what they taught, from watching the videos, I had Israelites that actually got offended that I said, hey, we got some people that are amongst Poland, amongst this, amongst that. What the fuck? Because Jake's so messed up that he now carnally wants to covet this truth for only black and brown. Well, you got heathens that are black and brown. What about them? Okay. It ain't nothing for a Hamite to be amongst you. East Indian people. Let me look them up. Let's look them up. All right. They got nigga skin with white people hair. What about them? Let's go right here. They don't call them. See, that's some bullshit. You know, yeah, I'm about to say, come on now. Stop playing. Black. Let's put black. See how Esau whitewashes shit? So-called whitewashes shit. There. Oh, look at that. Look. That looks like a straight Jake baby. See that? Look at that. And these possibly could be Jakes too. See? I don't know about you, girl. This looks like a straight up Jake. Just looking at him, he looks like a Jake. But of course, you may try the spirit to see. Okay, look, see, there you go. What does it say? How common is it for someone to be mixed with East Indian and African American heritage? Bada bing, bada boom, there you go. She clearly looks like an East Indian woman, but she almost looks like a Ephraimite or Naphtali. But this is a Judite. So now he gets with her, and they have more brown children, but they may have more of the complexion of East Indian with the soft, long hair. So the children may come out. They might not be under the curse of Isaiah 3 with our woman with their short hair. See, so this thing is very deep, man. So, don't be just limiting our people to the 12 tribes chart as if other of our people are going to come from other places as well. Remember the Ethiopian eunuch? Matter of fact, I got more. I got to get more. So we got this joint heirs. Perfect. Now, before I read that, because I'm going to end it there, let me get this real quick. This is 1 Samuel 16 and 7. It says, but Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the mind. The Lord looketh on the heart. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai know who he is. Okay. Matter of fact, Matthew's 20. What is that? Let's put wheat and tare. And you should be thankful that you have this understanding. Okay. I spelled that wrong. I spelled tare. I think it's 24. Is it Matthew's 24 or 25? Let me see. Doing down tare. Okay. Let me go here. Let the wheat, am I spelling that wrong? Yes, and tare grow together. Haven't brought this one out in a while. Okay, there it is. And the wheat and the tare is talking about Matthew 13. It's a parable. All right. And another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. The field representing the earth. But while men slept, a slavery, captivity, his enemy Esau came and sowed tares among the wheat, raping our women, and went his way, but left them, right? Bed wenches. Esau even sold some of his own kids into slavery. It says, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servant of the household came and said unto him, sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then has it tares? He said unto them, an enemy has done this. The servant said unto him, will thou then go, then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. So you could be in the spirit like, nah, he a Edomite, he a heathen, he a this. And you could potentially be saying that to an Israelite. You understand that? So this is why the spirit is read. And I'm not just saying we just open arms with everyone, but we're not just going to close doors just from how you look. It's all about the spirit, okay? What spirit do you come in? All right. This is why brothers say, nah, we believe vocab is a heathen. Okay. You're an Edomite. All right. And you'll hear sometimes Jake get called a heathen or a tear. All right. Just by your actions, how you acting. Okay. But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, the end. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, the angels, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. See? So at the end of the day, Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to do the ultimate sifting. Okay, if there's heathen amongst us, they will be kicked out. And if there's Israelites amongst the heathen, they will be gathered in. Okay, now let me prove that. Now, when we go to Revelation 7, it goes into the elect, right? The 144,000, right? But then also you have to remember the continuance of the 1/3 outside of America. Okay, Revelation 7 and 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations. So you're going to have Israelites coming from all nations and kindred. That's the key right there. The kindred, though. You may be amongst China, but that don't mean that your line goes back to the Chinese. And so the Moabites, see, you may be in Guam. You see what I'm saying? You may be in Africa. You may be in Ethiopia. You may be in Britain. You may be in Europe, but that don't mean that you're European. And kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palmed in their hands. Real quick, let's go to this word kindred. When you go into this word kindred, even though they come from all nations, who is the kindred specifically that are coming from all nations? Ding, ding, ding. In the New Testament, all persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. This proves it's the spirit under the flesh and not the flesh that comes with the spirit. Okay, so you cannot just immediately say, "Oh, that's a Edomite." Okay, because I gotta say it again in clothing. This brother right here, okay, looks exactly like my evil Edomite neighbor. I mean, to the T. I said, "Damn, that looked just like my evil Edomite neighbor." But I'm listening to the video and I said, look at that. Completely different spirit. Genesis, and I'm going to end it. Genesis 25, real quick. Genesis 25, 2 nations in thy womb, separated from thy bowels. This is beautiful. Real quick. Let's see how this looks. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. ESV, and the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 people from within you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. So right there, 2 nations. So we're not the same people in the spirit. Even if we look like you, that don't mean we are you. Okay. So we're getting ready to see an implosion of a lot of our people. All right. Looking like all sorts. And even in the time of the end, when the elect come down, you're going to have the multitude of the 1/3, because the 1/3 doesn't just consist of Babylon. All right. It says of all nations. So we're getting ready to witness a great converting amongst our people, even though they're amongst the other nations. And guess what? If they're a clean leopard, well, Yahweh Shai is going to heal. They'll have power to be healed. Look. There it is. Look at that. 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 Let's go here. What's it say? What's it say? Matthew 8:3, a leper approaches Yahweh Shai and kneels before him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. Now, real quick, what does it say about leprosy? Real quick, this is Numbers. Let me show you something. The Lord turned Miriam into a Karen. Numbers 12 and 10. If you want to know what the color of leprosy is, according to the Bible, I will show you. Numbers 12 and 10, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. Behold, my beautiful milk of magnesia. Miriam became leprous, white as snow. So you got times where you see brothers with a Shedemite, but guess what? She's actually a Judite. See that? Like, man, she a little niggerish, because she is a nigga. But you know Jake like white women and the other women. And then they're going to get with them. And they're going to have children. And then the children are going to come out. And then over a process of time, the skin is just going to change. But the spirit don't change. Skin may change, spirit don't change. Get with it or get lost. Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam and said, behold, she was leprous. So right here, leopards are as white as snow. And Yahushua healed leopards that were white as snow, meaning he turned them from the color that we know today as so-called white people, and he turned them to look the color that we have now, so-called black people. Very beautiful thing. So I could see how that'll play out in the end times. You'll have our people looking like other nations, and then that baptism, and then get changed, just like that, just like how Yahushua did it. Yahushua is moved with compassion and touches the leopard, saying, I will be clean. Immediately the leopard is cleansed from his leprosy. Yahushua then tells him not to tell anyone, but to go and shew himself to the priest and offer the gift that Moses commanded as a testimony. Right there. So right here we have a fact that Yahushua cleansed his people that looked like so-called white people. Because when you have lepers, now it could have been either fully leopard or it could have been spots. Okay. But Miriam was changed fully. All right. So, I just want to do that quick lesson, be spiritual, understand that you're going to have our people that are going to look like the other nations, but you can tell in the spirit that that's our people. See?
Yeah, precept.
Yeah. It's
and then look, and then the brothers with them.
Only the ones that were exempt from any type of judgment was Israel for doing what the Lord had commanded them, like striking the
And see, for all face value, which I'm not getting on his brother by no means at all, but at face value, Jake will see him and they don't question. But Jake see him and it's all the questions in the world. But that same's got to go for the same thing. Well, you got tares that look like Jake. You got Israelites that look like heathens. So you got to be spiritual at the end of the day, So we just move by the Spirit. I didn't even mean to make this lesson that long, but I pray that this lesson was edifying. We're entering a very beautiful times, and we have a lot of our people that are out here that look like the other nations as well. So if you got somebody just telling you, if you ain't on this sign that it's not for you, then they're not being moved through the Rakak Kodash. They're not being moved through the Holy Spirit at the end of the day. Okay. So, hey, with that being said, call Halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. And with that being said, Shalom.